Hi all, welcome back. More Fields of Fire, Normandy campaign, mission 1, Trevieres offensive. This is my take 2. This will be part 5. We're halfway through the turn, and yeah, I thought I was going to have to take a break, but I'm not, so I'm just going to keep going. We are on the enemy higher HQ event segment, and we're going to draw a card and see if we get anything. We do not. Okay, good. Yeah, it's still turn 4. Okay, enemy activity check. Right, well, there is 2. Right, well, we know that this guy's is going to go away now. He's not. Oh, that goes away as well, but it does say that if he doesn't have any fire missions left, come the next enemy activity check, he goes away. So that's what happens. So that's him out the road. Now, that doesn't mean this comes off. This stays on until we get told to take it off. I can update the mortar spotter in the back there to say that he's now gone. I'll score him out. Not really a big deal, I suppose, but yeah. And then, well, the other enemy that we have is this guy here. Now, he's pinned this time. He's pinned undercover. He's a light machine gun, and he's firing at this card, this assault team on the same card. He's firing with all pinned. We've thrown a grenade at him as well. So, thing is, I think he can get out. If he can get out of there, I want to see he's going to fall back maybe, because if he can do that, well, we'll see. We'll see what he's going to do. So looking at this side this time, because this is the enemy lap pinned activity check hierarchy. So we'll go through these, and then there's 2 columns here. One if you had a leader with you, or one if there's no leader. I want to say the leader has to be in communication for you to use that. Anyway, there's no leader, so we're going down that one. So what do we have? Actually, it might be one of the ones up the top, isn't it? Pinned on same card as an opposing unit and not undercover. Well, he is undercover, so he's pinned on same card as an opposing unit and undercover. That's the one he's going to do. So you can see his options here are going to be no action rally or fall back. Well, I think we'd rather he just had no action. We don't want him falling back because it means the grenades is going to be wasted. But so we're going to draw. It's a D5 there. So pinned on same card as opposing unit. Yep. And undercover. Yep. Right. So we're drawing a D5, and we get. I should have zoomed out there a bit. 5. He's going to fall back, isn't he? Damn it. Right. Pinned on same card as opposing unit and undercover, and we rolled a 5. Yeah, he's going to fall back. Damn it. Okay, so there's a wee explanation of fall back. We've done it in the previous mission. Move the unit 1 card away from opposing units to the card with the best cover, including cover marker areas. Prioritise cards out of opposing line of sight. Well, he's not going to fall back off the map as we did the previous occasion. I know I maybe keep talking about previous things and whatever, and you might not have watched that, but I suppose it's just in my mind. So I'm going to look for enemy, and I'm going to find some stuff about fallback, because I'm pretty sure there's a fallback priorities, page 66. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that grenade just fizzles and does nothing. I mean, it doesn't affect us. No, because it was under the cover mark. It was fired. It was thrown at the cover. I mean, if it was a grenade miss on this card, it would still affect us, but no. So there's fallback priority is 8.6.3. Enemy units that receive a fallback order as a result of an activity check will move towards their own side of the map, generally the top of the map. Choose a card to move to with the following priorities, and more than one move fits, then determine it randomly. Card that is out of line of sight of any opposing units, and then the next priority is the card with the highest cover value, including the value of existing available cover markers. This can include cards occupied by opposing units. Okay. Move into cover if available. Upon reaching the top row of cards, enemy units fall back. They'll move off the edge of the map. Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of all we need to see. Yeah. I was just trying to have a look there about what happens to grenade. I'm pretty sure I'm right in the fact that it just sits there and does nothing now because he's going to move away. So he's going to fall back out of line of sight. I moved off that bit. That was silly. Well, it's away in 8 something. There, I've got it there. A card that is out of line of sight of any opposing units. So, well, this is clearly not out of line of sight. This is clearly not out of line of sight. Yeah, this is a squad. So it's got long range capability, so it can fire into there, and it can fire, or it can see into there, it can see into there. So that's not out of line of sight, that's not out of line of sight. That, however, well, actually I don't think it will be, because it's up on a hill. And these can, well, not just these here can fire up. I don't think the fact it's up a hill, I don't think, yeah, pretty sure that's in line of sight as well. Well, it is in line of sight. Whether I can fire at it or not, it is in line of sight. So he's got no options to go that aren't out of line of sight. So with that in mind, he wants a card with the highest cover value, including the value of existing available cover markers. Well, I don't think he's got any available cover. This is a cover marker here, but we're under it. He can't go under that. There's no other cover markers on any of these 5 cards that he can go to. So he's looking for the best cover on the card. This is a 2, this is a 2, this is a 2, this is a 1, this is a 2. So I want to see randomizes between them, but would he really go to these 2? Would it not be between these 2, Grant? It does say fall back. Yeah, to be honest, yeah, it says enemy units that receive a fallback order as a result of an activity check will move towards their own side of the map, generally the top of the map. Yeah, so in actual fact, I'm looking at these cards. These aren't falling back, are they? It's that card, and that card. Yeah, I think I'm getting that wrong, haven't I? What did it say in the explanation? Move the unit 1 card away from opposing units to the card with the best cover. Yeah, of course, right, yeah. So it's there, or there. All of the options are still in line of sight. These are the 2 that have got the best cover. +2, +2. So we randomise between these 2. Now you might say, well, this is completely covered by green. This one's not. Maybe there's a point to that one, I don't know. The card with the highest cover, including the value of existing available cover markers. I mean, right now, if we move into that woods, he's firing that way. So we're getting we're always going to get a +2 in the woods. Whereas if we move into there, it's still a +2 I'm getting. If something was to fire from there to there or there to there. But it's not really saying that, it's just saying the best cover. I mean, maybe this is one that you might step in and say, well, this is clearly the better card because it's completely a +2, whereas that one's not. Well, there's a possible downside to that. Remember, this is woods. If we were to fire some artillery into there, it might be bad for him. And we'll still not find that church steeple that Mike set up here for us. This church. Which was in the previous mission, it was down here. That church. I'm just having a laugh, Mike. Okay. Well, I'm going to randomise actually, because it doesn't really say, it doesn't discuss board, different covers on the card. I do wonder though, if we were, let's just say that this card had a white border there. you know, if we moved into that, we'd be sitting in +1 cover from this guy, and if we moved into that, we'd be sitting in +2 cover. So, you know, don't know though. That's an interesting one just to leave there. I don't think I need to go and ask questions. Just going to leave that there, and maybe Shonai or somebody else will eventually see it. There's lots of footage out there now. To be honest, I feel confident enough. Well, I feel confident. I've not watched any of this take 2 back yet, but I feel better about how it's going. And the fact that there's more things happening it's been more fun. I'm loving it, actually. It's brought it all back. Such a great game this is. Okay, I'm going to randomise then, and we can find out later. Let me know, guys, if this had a white border on it, then he would only be getting +1 because this could attack in across the white border, and this would be a +2. Would that determine that this was a card you should move it to? Or should I still randomise the fact that the main number is a +2? Right, we're randomising anyways. That's a 1, that's a 2. We've drawn a 2 anyway, so he's into the woods. So he's going to fall back into the woods. Now, he keeps his pin status. He doesn't take his foxholes with him. So he's falling back into the woods, pinned, and I haven't run out of all the markers. It's all the pin markers, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to have to watch that then. I'm going to eventually run out of them. Suppose I could get them. I guess Fields of Fire 2 would have a lot more. Would have the same amount of these, isn't it? I've never even punched, I think. He's marked exposed as well, mind, because he has moved. He doesn't get away with that. So with that, what happens? Things change. They do indeed. This comes away. Now, I want to say that when he falls back off a card, he continues to fire on the card that he left, and I'm pretty confident with that one. So he's going to be firing into here with all pinned. That grenade's, to be honest, it can come off now. It's not going to affect us. I'll leave it down there. But it was under, in fact, you know what it is? It's in his foxholes. The foxholes are still on the card. So he's now going to fire down here with all pinned fire. We can't fire at anybody now because we were point blank. However, something else going to happen. This squad has got long range and has line of sight on that card. So he is going to open fire on him, and I'm pretty confident the fact that he moved back there. This was where he was. He continues to fire. I'm pretty sure. In fact, I'm not even going to look that one up. I'm pretty sure that's right. It's not that he then. Yeah, now I'm starting to doubt myself. I'm starting to wonder. Let's just say this only had 1 step and this had 2 steps. Well, in fact, you know what? That is the case. This is a squad, Grant. So maybe we're going to have to look at... Let me think how it is just now. This is what I think. +2, all pinned. We're firing at him with... Now, what did I not say? Their markers come at the top of the card, Grant. Yeah, sorry, my bad. As long as I'm got a... right, I need a +1. I need a small arms. So the squad here is firing into that card now with small arms. This guy can't fire because he's only got point blank range. Can these guys now not fire on that though? They can. But do they fire overhead? This is a little bit that I'm slightly concerned about too. They can see this card because remember they're elevated 1 level. These guys cannot do nothing about it. This guy cannot do nothing about it. These guys can't see that. These can see that card though, so can he. This guy can see it, but he's not got the range in his weapons to attack. Okay, Grant. See, I don't think, because we're firing down the hill, I think we're firing over the top of this, aren't we? Right, I'm going to have a little glance at that, and I'm going to have a little glance at what happens when this guy falls back. Does he continue? Is his target, if you like, still, does it have to be the unit that the card that he move off of? I think that's the case. If it's not, and he reverts back to 6.11 about how he selects his targets, then he would actually be firing on this guy because he's got more steps than that. So let me have a look for the two sort of issues. Okay, well maybe I've got that wrong then. This is a condition where they would they would not continue to fire at the same card. If they were ordered to move to another card, and then they'll cease fire automatically, then they'll open fire as per 6.1.1, which is here. Let us read this bit though, just in case. An unengaged unit opens fire, becomes engaged with its basic VOF when it has spotted eligible target within range of line of sight. This is automatic mandatory. This may happen whenever changes occur on the map. For example, movement of friendly and enemy units. Well, that's kind of what we're doing. Although he's falling back, he is moving. If multiple cards are spotted, opposing units come into view, then they want to target the most steps. Friendly units will not automatically open fire on a card with both units. When first placed enemy units place. Once units are engaged, they will not cease or shift fire without orders, even if units from their own side enter the card, or if all opposing units have moved at range. If a unit enters a card where there is firing already going on, it's a PDF marker pointing away from it, or it is occupied by both enemy units, friendly units. The entering unit joins the existing fire. Yeah, I want to feel like he should maybe be continuing to fire on that card, but that doesn't seem to say that, does it? Maybe if I look through these examples, give me a sec. I think this rule here is something. I don't think this is what we're doing, but I think this is just maybe what I've been thinking. If the last unit with an opposing unit's VOF on its card moves to another card in line of sight, right? Hang on. If the last unit with an opposing unit's VOF on its card moves to another card in line of sight, within range, well, that wouldn't be in range because the assault team can't follow it. Now on the same PDF in either direction, the opposing unit. There's not really a PDF here, so it just says the VOF has moved the unit. And then the next part is if the last unit under a VOF from an opposing unit on the same card, so that's the case here. If the last unit under a VOF from an opposing unit on the same card moves away to an adjacent card, yes, the opposing unit's fire follows the moving unit to the new card. Yeah, well, the assault team can't do that. So maybe that's what I'm thinking. Maybe I'm thinking of it backwards. Move the VOF to the new card and place a PDF marker. Yeah, any fire that was from outside the card remains on the original card. Okay, I think I'm maybe thinking about it backwards then. So, yeah, what I want to say that means is, let's just say this wasn't an assault team. Let's say this was a squad. That when that unit moved back, we would follow him. We would keep firing at him. So we would have a PDF towards him and a VOF in here. We wouldn't look at 6.1.1 for him and say, well, wait now, there's more steps over there, I'll start firing there. If he was on the card beside us and he moved away, we would continue to fire on him. So it's not the other way about though. When he moves back, I was thinking he would continue to fire on us. So it kind of looks like that's not the case, and he's wanting to look elsewhere, and he's wanting to adjust where he might want to fire with 6.1.1, which is most steps, so he can actually fire on here or here. Oh, actually, or here. This is an assault team though. Yeah, this is an assault team. This is an assault team. This is a squad. This is 2 steps, 1 step, 1 step. So in actual fact, they're going to trade fire. Oh, you know what else is going to happen? We're not going to be heavily engaged anymore. Yeah, some of you probably realised that a long time ago. Yeah, fall back was not good. That was not the result we wanted. So that comes off. That actually goes into here then. So he's trading fire with this guy. We're firing small arms. He's firing all pinned. Yeah, that's fine. I think the fact there's a potential contact marker, I think that's fine. I think if he was firing through that card is when this maybe gets removed. I don't think firing into it like right now matters. No, I don't think so. Okay. So I think that's the state of affairs. I think that's us up to date with VOFs and PDFs. No. The other thing I need to resolve is, does this lot fire on it? Yeah, that's what I need to. Maybe elevation. Right. I'm struggling a little bit here. What I read here, I was looking at overhead fire, and then just read this grazing fire, right? Now, it says, normally, when firing along a PDF into another card, the VOF is exerted into the closest occupied card along the PDF that is within line of sight. However, if a tripod-mounted machine gun unit is firing at range, not point blank, it exerts its VOF into every card along its PDF up to its maximum range. And I'm trying to look for, I think I'm maybe having a daft moment here. And yeah, and we're looking at this platoon and whatever. It's all elevated. It's one level. It's on level 2. These are on level 1. Okay, so yeah. So I want to say that I can see, even though this is green bordered, that I can see through to there. That's right, yeah? Yeah, that's right. So if I was to open right now, I need to know what these guys are doing. I mean, they have line of sight on this. This guy here, just looking at him alone, all the other units are pinned. This guy has long range and can fire small arms, so he can fire onto this card. But this card intervening, and going by what I read there, normally when firing along a PDF into another card, the VOF is exerted into the closest occupied card along the PDF that is within line of sight. So, yeah, that seems to suggest that we cannot open fire on this, because if I was to place my PDF, this is going to be the nearest card. We've got friendly units there. We will not automatically open fire on that. However, it is saying there that, well, if it was a tripod-mounted machine gun we were talking about here, right, it still wouldn't work, because we would fire into here and here, but then we would be firing into our own units as well. So a tripod-mounted machine gun wouldn't automatically open up there as well. However, just looking at overhead fire now, which is a different thing slightly, it says tripod-mounted machine guns and units with a heavy weapons VOF rating are capable of overhead fire. The following intervening troops can be fired over with these weapons. So if we had some of this I think would be okay. A unit which is on the same level as the target and at least one level lower than the firing unit. That's the only one we need to look at, right? So assume we had a heavy machine guns unit in here with a tripod. this would be the firing target. It's one level up. So this would be a unit which is on the same level as the target and at least one level lower than the firing unit. So that would allow the following troops to be fired overhead. So that would allow us to do this and fire onto this card. I think right now, because we've not got that capability, or do we? Well, you know what? We don't just yet. Is this not where the sergeant is? It is. There's our heavy machine gun there, right? With a tripod. But while it's exposed, it cannot fire. But however, once that exposed marker comes off, it's going to be able to. Interesting. I don't know. I think maybe have I blundered with this before then? Thinking that I can be on a higher level, ignore a card in between if it's on the same level. Now, I want to say that if this was on level 2 and this was on level 1, this was on level 2, would we not be able to do that? Well, maybe not. It's the other two options are a unit which is on the same level as the firing unit, but at least one level lower than the target. A unit which is on a lower level than both the firing unit and the target. Yeah, no, that still has to apply as well. So the weapon needs to have overhead fire. Even if this was on level 2 and this was on level 2, if we had nothing with overhead fire capabilities, we would not be able to fire at that because we would have to fire at this card unless we had overhead fire capabilities. Wow. Okay, that's a new one to me then. That feels like that's... It says, do not place a VOF marker on the card being fired over. Like other units, weapons capable of overhead fire will automatically exert their VOF into the closest opposing units along their PDF, but they may be ordered to shift fire over lower units to target enemies further away if necessary. Oh, that's starting to hurt me a little bit. So it does seem that I'm not comfortable with that. I'm not feeling terribly great about that one. Feels like a question is brewing. Yeah. I mean, it looks clear in the rules there as I'm reading it, but I mean, you can sort of see it. I mean, the one that I find difficult to understand is if this is on a level 2, right, and this is on a level 2, and this is sitting below on a level 1, can't we just fire back and forward to each other, ignoring that card, because we're up above it? But I don't think so, because it says normally when firing along a PDF into another card, the VOF is exerted into the closest occupied card along the PDF that is within line of sight. It's kind of clear there in the rules, Grant. I mean, that's under grazing fire, but it's giving you a normally explanation of how a PDF and VOF works. I did jump back to look at PDFs and VOFs to see if that helped me out a bit. Yeah, I'm reading through it there, and it's not really helping me out there. Any of that stuff regarding primary detection of fire markers. No. Because, hang on. I mean, let's just say for a moment that this guy's not here. There's nothing on this card at all. And there's an enemy unit on that card. It seems clear to me that anything with long range will open fire on that. But at the moment, this is intervening. We're up on a hill. I mean, if this had been level 1, and this is level 1, this is level 1, well, and let's say this had white borders or a white border there, so that I've got line of sight right through, I would understand that I couldn't just avoid firing into this card because we're at the same level. Because we're up a level, I kind of feel like I should be able to fire over the top of that, but I mean, I suppose I'm not really over the top. I'm just one level up, and these are both at the same level. But then again, like it's explained in the rule there, if this was up higher too, and this was up higher, then I still have to fire into this card. And why am I not, you know, why am I not finding the bit? That says normally this is what happened. Why am I not finding that part maybe? I guess it's going to be there, but hang on. I was just about to go away and ask a question, and somebody's made a comment from the well, it must be the previous stuff. I've not got the new stuff out, which got me thinking. And he's quite right, of course. However, I just left. He said trenches stay when the enemy vacate, and yeah, I took it away. Now, did I not take? Yeah, I did. So these foxholes, I left them when the unit moved back. However, when the mortar spotter, I just want to get this just now while now was he under trenches? He would be. That should stay there. He's quite right. Not that he was talking about this recording right here, but he's talking about my previous part where I reckon when I've removed the unit, I've took the trenches away. Whereas I did leave these ones here just now, so. But a good one, just to catch there, just what to catch that. Hopefully that'll stick in my mind now, and maybe just caught that in time, because that was part of this recording, was it? Or was it? Was it the last part? No, because we're just dealing with this enemy falling back, so he must have just left recently. So it's still part of the same part, so I've just caught that in time, only thanks to that comment. Right, I think I'm going to go and just ask a question, just to settle my mind on this one. Try and explain the situation and see if, you know, are we allowed to ignore what's on this card and fire on this card? What I'm getting from the rules is no, you're not. However, unless you've got overhead fire. Now, we've not got it just yet because this heavy machine gun is exposed, but we will get it shortly. But I'd still like to know for sure with that one, because it could be that I'm missing something, and they can. I'm starting to think you're just being silly, Grant, and they cannot fire on that. Right, give me a minute. Okay, I've been away to pester Shonai again with a question regarding that. Just to, yeah, it feels... The other thing I was thinking about, if they cannot fire to this guy, but our heavy machine guns could, imagine these are not exposed and pinned anymore, and the heavy machine guns can open fire on that. I mean, my guess is the platoon can't join along because they've not got overhead fire capabilities, okay? So they wouldn't be able to join along that PDF. Let's just say that there was an enemy unit here as well. Or let's just say while we were there, an enemy unit popped up there, and that platoon could then fire on them. I'm assuming we could not, because I'm pretty sure you can't have two different PDFs coming out of a card. So it was a kind of follow-up sort of daft question, but it kind of means that the platoon can't do nothing. I mean, how the platoon could join in the fire is by moving ahead into this card, and then they're there. So, yeah, interesting to see how that comes back. I think that's the way how it works, but, you know, I want to be sure, so, okay. Right, I'm going to take, that's 34 minutes. Yeah, I better take a pause just now and let me get a wee chance of getting that answer back, because he's generally not that long before you get an answer to the question, so which is great. It's just what you want. There's nothing worse than try to play some of these complex games and you just don't get nothing. It's a bit frustrating, but then, you know, nobody should be just sitting by waiting on questions coming in, you know. I don't deny you've got other things you've got to do, but it's nice to get them sooner than later, you know. Okay, so I'm going to take a break there, and yeah, I should be able to just hang this on pause, and I'll be back in a bit. Cheers. Hi all. Right, back to finish the second half of this part 5. Yeah, part 5. We're on turn 4. That was what was confusing me, I think. No, that's right. Yeah, so I was on pause there. That's fine. So so I did went and post that question. I was able to set it out quite easily, to be honest. And Shania came back and said, my assumption, my sort of feeling is right here, but I just wanted to double check. So this platoon would not open up on this because this is in the way. He did say, however, that if it had a heavy machine gun, it would fire. And then if these units did have another target, they wouldn't switch targets. They would want to just wait until this guy moved out of the way so that they could fire. Basically, yeah, because I know you can't have 2 different PDFs from a card. Pretty sure that's what I was kind of wondering there. So thanks for that. Just a bit of clarification, because it was just bugging me that bit a little bit. I'm wondering if I did in that initial playthrough look at that, but I don't know. I'm not sure. Okay, so where did I leave things? I left things with that thought. Yeah, and we had done. It was just this was the enemy. So we must actually be still in the enemy activity check, and we moved that guy, and we're just working out how the PDS and the VOFs are getting sorted. He's left this grenade here in the foxholes. We're exposed. He changed his target to that because that's 2 steps. That's more steps than that. None of these guys can open fire on that. Just wondering there though, if that was able to fire, then it would have fired on that. Then again, the heavy machine gun still could have fired down the same PDF, but the rest of the platoon would not, I suppose. If this had been a fire team, for instance, or a squad. Okay, so this isn't going to fire, but however, it is going to open fire once the exposed marker comes off. So we need to check that in the cleanup phase, Right, so enemy activity check. We've checked all that. And this is the problem, isn't it? Because before we move on to the potential combat valuation segment, dogs are just not going to give up, I don't think. I'm not sure what they're barking at. Based on our status and activity. Yeah, well, I do need to adjust the activity just now. So the activity now is we've got we've got multiple, we've got 3 cards that have got units on them with VOFs. So that means we're engaged. However, we don't have a card where there's enemies and friendlies on it. So we're not heavily engaged. So we're moving back to engaged. Oh, sheesh. Right. So we're engaged. Right, I'm going to go and shut the door to quiet it a little bit, because they're just barking at nothing. Right, so we're engaged. Right, let's move on. Past the enemy activity. Mutual capture, retreat. None of that required. AT, combat and vehicle. None of that needed. Fire mission update segment. Yeah, that's going to do a little bit again for its last time. Well, for the moment anyway. So remove existing incoming and airstrike VOF markers. Flip pending markers to their active sides. Well, we're going to remove this. Now, things could change with that, because remember, this guy could not fire out of that card. By removing that, it now enables him to do that. However, he was just an assault team, wasn't he? Oh, he's a fire team. Fire team has close range, so he could fire on the next card up, but there's no enemies there. The only enemy we've got is down here, and that's over the hill for him as well. Sorry, I wasn't showing you that. This guy down here, but too far away, etc. Okay, so now potential contacts. So here we go. For each card with PC marker friendly unit, draw a number of action cards indicating potential contact draws. Chart based on the PC marker and the current activity level. Activity level still Engage. If it states contact, we're going to look for a contact. Then we place any VOFs, PDFs, and we update the activity again then. Right, so we've got this potential contact, this one, and this one. So 3 A's. So we're going to have to randomize between the 3. So we'll go 1, 2, 3. And draw a card. On a 3, we get a 2. So it's the middle one. So this one here, this guy was exposed, did not find any cover. So, yes. So looking at the potential contact draws chart, we are now at engaged. Like I say, we were hoping the plan was to be heavily engaged, but well, that guy moved away. So we're engaged, so it's 5 card draws. So here we go. 5 cards to see if we get a 4, 5. Have I drawn too many there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, that's right. Right, so looking, or not looking, shall we say, for the word contact. 1, 2, 3. Just the one. Card 4, done it. So we've got contact. Okay. So it's on this card here. It's an 8. So let's get the mission briefing booklet back out. I can lay that up over the rules here as well. I'll take that away just now. And we'll see what we're up against. Right, well, these are potential contact A's this time. So we're looking at that. So on a D10, let's draw a card. We get a 10. I guess that could be maybe good or bad, you know, the fact that it's like the last number. It might not be. Well, it's an 88. Package number 23, it's an 88. Right, so we'll go and look at that in a minute. Anyway, we do still need to check the package placement. So we'll do that and then I can get rid of that, basically. So it's an 88. And just while we're there, look, the 88 has 6 ammo. So we don't need to come back here to check that. So where's it going to be placed? So a D10 on this. Let's see what we get. We've got a 1 this time, right? Well, that's per package placement table. So it's whatever it says on the package. Right, let's all just use the book. You've got the book for this, and you've also got this player aid. I'm guessing all these will be coming with the game as well, with the upgrade or the full game. Well, they must be coming with the full game, because, yeah, and they must be coming with the upgrade, yeah. So you must have to get replacements of everything, whether any of them might not have been, maybe not been altered at all, then that's possible. Right, so it's package 23, which is down the bottom there. 88, so 88, place VOF PDF, yes. Unit spotted, yes, so we are getting to see it this time, so that's good. Right, max line of sight, so we're going to have to find the direction again, so we'll need to go back to that, but it's a bit like per package placement table and just says max line of sight, but I don't know, I'm not sure why. I mean, okay, these on the package placement on these, they are different right enough, so maybe, yeah, maybe there's a reason for it. I don't know. So at max line of sight, and it's an 88mm flak 38. Right, not sure I've had this before, to be honest. So, yeah, I might need to look up and see what this gets up to. Right, what's happened there? I've got my Jeep moved. The car, nothing moved there. No, that's okay. Right, so 88mm flak 38, max line of sight, and it is spotted. Okay, let me go and find it. Okay, it looks like this bad boy here. So he's heavy weapons, very long range, and it's a 2-step unit as well. Does it flip? It just flips into a 1-step unit. So there we go. Okay, yeah, I suppose I don't need to know any more about it then, do I? Right, let's look at where it triggered and where it could be placed then. So it's triggered on this card here, this marsh here. It's not going to it's going to be spotted, so I can take this away now because we don't need that marker. So where can it go? Well, it's very long range, so, and with this new information about checking for hills, we might be looking further into the map here a little bit, although the chances of going out here are probably unlikely because we would need 2 hills. But if it went out here, going by what I got earlier on from Shania, it's like you need to check. It is possible. In fact, there's only 6 hills in the terrain deck. We've got 3 of them on the map. There's only 3, but who knows? Who knows? We could draw a double hill, and then something else, and then it could go out there. It's quite possible. Okay, so, well, we know it's going max line of sight. We still need a direction for it, don't we? So we need to kind of go back to unit placement. And again, because this is staggered in a way that it favours a front result, I'm going to just draw on this table again. So rather than, if they'd all been even percentages, I would have just randomised a 1, 2 or 3, but they're not. I dare say you could draw... no, you know what? I'm just going to draw a D10. And if we need to redraw, I'll redraw. Okay? So, that's a reshuffle. Right. But before we reshuffle, D10 is a 9. Right, so we've got a result. It's right front and max line of sight. Oh, well, we are going to see if there's 2 hills on top of the deck then. Right, I'll get the deck shuffled first. Okay, so got the deck shuffled. So we've got the 180, and remember there was no cover mentioned, which means he's coming in under trenches. So very long range, max line of sight to the right. So my guess is he's going to be on this card. However, like I said, new information that we received, we do need to at least consider the possibility of drawing 2 hills and something else to put him out there at long range, because he's only going to be at close range there. That's fine, he's fine with that, but if he can get to very long range, he will get to it. So I'm going to draw from the terrain deck, more than likely just 1 card, and then we'll shuffle it back in, unless of course it's a hill. So here we go. It's not a hill, it's a farm, so that's going to be that. I'll shuffle that in a second. So this 88 is going to go in this orchard grove on the hill, under trenches. It's going to have a PDF to the unit that triggered it, this assault team, and it's going to be firing heavy weapons at that said assault team. Now, just going to shuffle that into the terrain deck. So, and then with that, remember that unit is spotted. Okay. Well, you've got a similar situation to what you were asking before then, because first platoon here can be firing up to that hill. However, it's got a unit in between, and this guy's an assault team with point blank range, so can't fire. So is that, can't fire. Yeah. So again, if you had a heavy machine gun here with overhead fire, the heavy machine gun tripod, then it would be able to open fire on that, I believe, because that's the opposite of that situation. So it's firing up to the hill, but it can't fire through that unless it's got overhead fire. Is that right? Where was that bit under? It's 7 something, I think. Grazing fire, overhead fire there. I like to see a unit which is on a lower level than both firing unit and target. Not a unit which is on the same level as the firing unit. Yeah. But at least 1 level lower than the target. That's the situation there. So a unit that was lower than the... Yeah. Yeah, so again, it needs to have overhead fire capabilities. Tripod mounted machine guns and units with heavy weapons VOF rating. Oh, it just says heavy weapons VOF rating. That's all it says. And if you think about it, a mortar, you would think it could fire over the tops. And the mortar's in here though, isn't it? He's in here as well. That's annoying. Because if the mortar was in there, then at least we would have something up there. Okay. So that's that package placed. Now I need to record that as well. And he's an 88. There's my pencil. So 1/88. I think, did they have any? Well, it was only 88mm, isn't it? 1/88mm. Wine quality. And he had 6 points ammo as well. So there we go. Yep. Right. Okay, they're coming at us this time. Right, I think that's been updated. That's not going to change the activity level. We're still going to be engaged. There's nothing on the same card. So that's fine. We can move on to the next check. Yeah, place any applicable VOF markers and update the current activity. VOFs and PDFs, update the current activity marker before moving on to the next PC marker. Well, I think that's it updated. I don't think... I'm looking again, but nothing can fire. I want to be careful because I really was so sloppy in that first playthrough with things like this. But I know some are kind of easy to catch you out, but if you just look at it when the unit comes on, nothing's going to change there. Like I say, this guy cannot fire back because he's only got point blank range. We've spoke about this. There's not an H-rated weapon here. Oh, what's that? That's the X-zone. So we cannot fire across our unit that's in the hedgerow here. Yeah, okay. So we're now going to look at these next two contacts. We're going to call this 1 and this 2. On a D2 we get a 2, so it's going to be this potential contact now, which is at the attack position. So again, we're engaged, so we're going to draw 5 cards to see if there is contact. So I'll get 5 cards. Oh, we just reshuffled the deck as well. That's probably not good. 3, 4, 5. Right, so here we go, looking for contact. Let's reshuffle again. So we need to draw an extra card on top of 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no! Oh, the extra card for the shuffle. Right, it's starting to get a bit more challenging now. Right, so we're going to shuffle this in and we have another contact this time. I was hoping to avoid that one. Okay, so that's on this card here, isn't it? Well, at least he's got a bit of cover, I suppose. And he's got +2 base cover as well. Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely got more interesting than the last mission already, and we're only on turn 4. Okay, so contact found, yeah. So we need the mission book again, and it's an A contact, potential contact, so we'll come back down here. And I'll just keep the unit placement bit on there as well. So we're going to draw a D10. We get a 5 on a D10, which is, number 10, a defensive position plus. Plus what? Okay, well, it's package 10, because you can see package 9 doesn't have the plus, so my guess is package 10 there's a bit more to it. So it's package 10, defensive position plus. I think I want to look at that package first. Well, hang on, let's just glance at it here on this. I don't know if that'll be... So package 10, it's got the plus. Yeah, so it's a sort of advanced, it's a sort of boosted up version. He's getting a leader. So we're getting... Place a PDF, VOF, yes. It's not going to be spotted. The placement is on adjacent cards, and it's going to be a squad. And then the oblique means What does that mean again? It means they go on different cards. Yeah, they go on different cards. So a squad, and then a squad, but the plus means they go on the same card. So it's a squad on one card, and then a squad and a leader on another card. They're not spotted, and yeah, okay. Right, let's see. Well, the fact that there's two different things to place here. Let's have a look at on. I'll come back to this in a minute. Let's have a look at it here, just in case there's any differences, because I know there was some adjustments to. There was some errata parts there. So package 10. Yeah, no, it's just the same, isn't it? The actual placement, if you get that drawn, it's on adjacent cards. So we've got to randomly draw. Remember, there's two types of squads. Yeah, well, I suppose I didn't speak about this since starting this mission. There's two types of German squads: S to L, so small arms with long range and automatic arms with long range. At the start of missions 1, 6 and 7, we're on mission 1 obviously. I place all those squads in a cup, and I've done that previously, so they're all in this cup. When one is called for by the PC tables, randomly draw a squad from the cup and place it into play on its 3-step side. Okay, for mission 2 through 5, only use the A to L squads. Right, so we're going to use all these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw, that's the order they're coming in. So I'm going to draw the squad by itself first, right? So I'm going to draw that, and we get lucky again, it's not automatic weapons. Now we need to know where this is going to go. Okay. Well, what I can do is turn this over and just use the player aid to check what we're doing next. So we need to place this according to this. So we need to draw a D10, and this is just for this 1-3 platoon that we've drawn, 1-3 squad. That's 1. Okay, so it is going to be per package placement. Right, can I just use this now? Yeah. So it said on adjacent card, didn't it? Defensive position plus on adjacent cards. Okay, and none of them mentioned any cover, so these are also going to come under trenches. So I need 2 trenches as well. And it's all starting to get nasty now, isn't it? Right, so I'm putting ham on trenches, and we'll work out the other one shortly. So this needs to go on an adjacent card, and I can't for the life of me work out how we go about that again, so I'm going to have to find out some information about that, so hang on. Okay, this was a bit that kind of caught me out before, whether it catches anybody else out. There's quite a bit of information on this front page of this briefing booklet, and I eventually realised that it's worth a look from time to time. And this explains things here. It says every enemy, I'll zoom in a little bit. Every enemy force package contains a squad infiltration attempt. If that package is drawn, make an attempt to infiltrate an adjacent card action. To infiltrate an adjacent card action, 4.2.2c. No, that's not what I'm looking for, is it? Forwards away. Yeah, no, this isn't helping, I don't think. I'm pretty sure BGG will have some stuff on adjacent cards. I'm going to look to the new rulebook first, though, in the hope that something gives me something. I mean, okay, we know we've got adjacent cards, so I mean, the package is getting triggered here. So I mean, we've got an adjacent card here. However, there's an enemy unit on that card, so you can't place a package on a card with an enemy unit. There's an enemy unit there, that's adjacent, but we can't place on there. Now that's an adjacent card, this is an adjacent card, so is this. Do you also consider adjacent cards that could be there as well? These are questions that I'm not sure of the answer. So I had a feeling there was something written about adjacent cards here. I've definitely read stuff on it because I'm pretty sure it's something I've had to look up. Okay, let's look at the rulebook first to see if it can help. Well, we've got 8.4 here, location enemy contact. Distance is determined on the enemy package list given in range. See, it looks like they've changed this a little bit. Or an instruction such as same card or adjacent card, etc. These indicate the distance of the package placement from the unit that triggered the PC marker. Right, so I'm still under the belief that it's got to be an adjacent card to where we triggered, right? Do we need to determine a direction for that? We need more information, don't we? We need to know some priorities as to which adjacent card it must be. I think maybe the best bet might be to search for adjacent card on the PDF on the computer maybe first. Yeah, okay. Right, I'm kind of hoping that the new stuff has a bit more information on that, because I was kind of lost here. I mean, you could say, well, let's hope it does. Let's hope it's better. I mean, because, you know, when this says at max line of sight, you know, how do you know what direction? Well, it's kind of, I'm going to say it's common sense here, so you're maybe going to say, well, is it not common sense when you look at it on adjacent cards as well? Because that max line of sight, you then go to the package placement bit and you randomise and get either a left, front or right result. And you could say, well, but there's nothing about adjacent cards, but you could say, well, maybe that's the same. I'd like to hope there's a bit more on that. Couldn't find nothing in the rules. Done a search on BGG and was struggling, was about to give up. However, came across a thread, German force package, and then quotes, on adjacent cards. So basically, he's asking about on adjacent cards, what does it mean? But he's looking at the package placement table first, which you shouldn't look at that first. That's only if you draw per package placement table instructions. So Shonai responds, this was back in 2022, February of, so it's not that long ago. Adjacent to the triggering unit, because the question was, is it adjacent to the triggering unit? But I figured that one. So it's adjacent to, where are we again? Here, isn't it? Yeah. So adjacent to the triggering unit, and he says, and yes, per the rules, you ignore this unless you draw the per package placement on the placement chart. Well, I happen to have drawn that. So he says, you draw on the placement chart, you do what it says. If it says per package placement, you check the package list. If it says adjacent cards, which it did, you draw again for direction of each enemy, but place it close range instead of max line of sight. Okay, that all makes sense because you're wanting it on adjacent card. But this actually does mean that it could come here, here, or here where there's not a card, right? It says, don't place both enemies on the same card. Well, I know that because it did say that. Was it the same package as we've drawn? You drew 2 squads and a heavy machine gun in trenches. It's a German strong point. So, but I mean, we've got 2 separate placements to make here as well. So, and it says, don't place either enemy on a card with another enemy unit. Well, I knew that as well. And then the final bit is, make sure the enemy unit placed can open fire on the triggering unit if it says place PDF yes. So they did say place PDF yes, so we do need to be able to fire at this card. So placing on a card with smoke, incoming or US units is also generally not allowed. And the reason being, if it was on with a US unit, I would have to engage it. Well, you see, that's why that's another one I was... So if we were to play this on a US unit, I think what he's meaning there is they would have to engage the US units and not be able to engage it. That must be why he said that. He says, so placing on a card with smoke, incoming, or US units is also generally not allowed. Okay, Now, the one little bit in there is he says, don't place both enemies on the same card. Well, we've got two enemy pack. No, it's the same package, though, Grant, isn't it? Yeah, but don't I need to... What I'm trying to get here is, we've got a squad and another squad with a leader, right? So my initial thinking there was, right, let's find where the squad goes, and I'll draw on that. What we got was a 1 result. Now we need to find out where it's going adjacent. What I was then going to do is draw a D10 again to see where the squad 2 goes. I'm just wondering if I should... No, see, that's what I would have done. In fact, no, that's what I've done before. I drew for 2 different unit placements. Yeah, I think that's right. So this one is going per package table placement, which is going on an adjacent card. Now, the max line of sight bit is not going to come into this, because it's either going to be front, left, or right. Sorry, front, left front, or right front. Yeah, I'm forgetting it's not. It doesn't take in. I think as scenarios go on, you start getting different things. I think you maybe get left back, or left rear, or whatever it is. But these are all just front, or left front, or right front on this mission. You know, as the missions go on, they'll change a little bit. Okay, so on that card, well, we can't place at left front, and we can't place at right front. Well, that kind of solves things. We don't even need to draw a card here. Yeah, because I was saying it could go here, but there's no instruction to place it at rear right, sorry, or even just right. There's a front right, a front, or a front left. And the reason we can't place it there, because that is got an enemy unit in it. That's got an enemy unit in it. So I don't even need to randomise this. It is legal for it to go there. And then it will be able to fire on this card. So I'm not even going to draw anything, because it's just a waste. The card's going away. We're going to draw a card here from the terrain deck. That is right, and it can't be placed at front, left, and it can't be placed at... It can't be left front, and it can't be front. Yeah, because there's German units there. So it can be up here. So we've got our woods, right? So no, and we're not stretching anything, because remember, he's got to be an adjacent card, so it's just going to be at close range. So that's going to go there. The squad, which is 1-3 platoon. I don't need to track his ammo though, Grant, so I don't think I need to write him down. He's in these trenches. He's going to open fire with a PDF on this guy. And he was just small arms, wasn't he? Yeah, we got lucky on that side of it. So he's firing with small arms, which I'm going to need to find one of. There's one there. So I'll shimmy that a little bit. In fact, that's coming off. That's going on there. These were unspotted, weren't they? Package 10, wasn't it? Yeah, they're not spotted, so that's coming off and going on him as well. So we don't see him. He is under his trenches. He's firing in here with small arms. Well, we probably need to complete this whole package, but does that change in it? I don't think it changes anything anyway, right now. Nothing can fire at that. Oh, well, no, it can't. We've got the same situation here with us on the hill. Well, that's going to be who's he going to fire at situation, because when this becomes unexposed, it can actually fire at that or that. The heavy tripod machine gun. Okay, I'm up to an hour and 10 minutes. Right, well, I need to finish these. We've still got a potential contact. Well, no, we've still got the other half of this to do. So we need another squad, and this time a leader. I'm going to have to find them. So let me randomly draw the squad. And I'm going to redraw. I mean, I'm not going to place this on adjacent cards because I think I need to redraw for the package. So I'm just going to put them down here. Oh, we've got lucky again. So another small arms squad. Now, leaders, actually, it just says randomly because they don't do anything different. Now, where are they? It says that there's no difference between them. There's one there. There, right, I've got a leader. So he's coming in with a leader, and they're going to be under trenches as well. But I do feel like I need to draw on the unit placement table again, randomly generate a D10. The thing is with this one, maybe we need to stop and think about this, because the placement options are, right, if it's per package table placement, it's going to be an adjacent card, right? If we draw that, we cannot place this squad and leader on an adjacent card because the options are left front, right front, or front. There's German units on them all. We cannot place that. However, the other options are front at max line of sight, left front at max line of sight, right front at max line of sight. We cannot place anything beyond that. We cannot place a squad in there. Even though he's got long range, you can't fire through that. We cannot place a squad there, so you cannot fire through that. There's a hill in the way in that one. And we cannot place it there, beyond here, because this has got blocking line of sight, and to be honest, I don't know if the German unit itself. So in actual fact, we cannot place this package. Well, the other half of the package. I think this is becoming a little awkward. There are some instructions to help guide you out of this problem. So I'll see if they can maybe help us with this. Give me a second. Just having a glance at this page, it's where I was sort of hovering about, page 63. Redraw if an invalid direction is chosen. Yeah, here we go. Zoom in a little bit here. It's got something anyway that's talking about what we're trying to achieve. So, like I say, I could keep drawing cards for a direction and we would not be able to place it. All the possibilities are not possible. So, redraw if an invalid direction is chosen, right? We can't do that. If it is not possible to legally place the entire package due to lack of counters or because the above requirements are not possible. Well, I would say the above requirements, I've not read through them all, but what we've just got, grenade attack capable units. Yeah, I think it's talking about everything before, and this is like how you place, the location of an enemy contact, distance, direction, enemy package placement rules. Yeah, you cannot place outside its maximum range for units that do not place PDF. Well, not on that. And then your grenade attack capable units, they've got to be within, able to do it. That's maybe an interesting one that might come up for friendly fire. However, let's just read on with that bit, I think. So, if it is not possible to legally place the entire package, well, we've been able to place part of the package. But, carry on, Grant. Due to lack of counters or because the above requirements are not possible, redraw the package. If no packages can be legally placed, the PC marker is discarded. Be sure to check potential point-blank placements and units which do not need to place PDS before deciding if no legal packages are available. Well, does that mean we cannot place this package? Because it doesn't really... It's not really saying to me here if it's not possible to legally place part of the you know, we're able to place part of it. It does just say entire package. Due to lack of counters or because the above requirements are not possible. Well, I don't think it's possible. Without looking, I mean, if I look through these requirements, I'm pretty sure I'm going to find the direction down. You know, draw a random number, check the unit placement table for the mission. We've done all that, and like I've just said, I cannot place the rest of that. So maybe this means we've got to draw for a different package. I think it does. I mean, just going by what that says there, because if we draw a package, right? If we happen to draw a package with that's just got one German unit, then we know exactly where it's going to go. Unless it says same card or something like that, it's going to go there, and then that would be a legal package placement, wouldn't it? I'm probably just going to leave that Woods card there as well, because it looks like I shouldn't have drawn that, because, well, you can see where I was at. I was trying to place a package, but I've got halfway through it and I can't place the rest of it. Another question? Yeah, maybe. I think we've still got another potential contact to go though, but I kind of need to stop for a bit, and we're at an hour and 16 minutes, and it's a horrible place to end the video, but I think I'm going to do that, and it'll let me just chuck out this question before I need to go and take a break. And am I zoomed right out? I am. So I'm going to leave this line here. Now I can look back in the video footage to see where we're at. We're in the middle of trying to place this package from this. Yeah, I've took the potential contact marker off to cover that, so yeah, I'll leave it. I should get that. And then we've still got this package to this contact to check as well. I get the feeling the situation I'm in, I need to be able to draw a package that's only got one unit and it's going to be placed there. Because the other, well, what are some of the other packages? Those are not some that say on same card. Yeah, see, you've got a command post. So that would be a squad plus a leader under a bunker, for instance. And it says on same card, so it could potentially go in here, you know? So that's a possibility as well. But there's plenty of other packages there that are just single units that could just be placed up there, you know. Or you've even got the ones that come on with a plus. You know, there's a mine plus a sniper undercover, so the mine would go in this card and the sniper would go in there. And the thing is with A cards as well, it could go further out. We could maybe draw a hill up here, so it's possible. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna cut the video there. I know it's a crappy place to kind of leave it, but yeah, the time of the video going, that's an hour and 19 minutes, and yeah, I'm not going to finish this part in a decent time frame. And we've got this stuck bit. I'm going to go and quickly ask a question about if I can place all the package. I mean, it does kind of say that in the rules. It does say that if it's not possible to legally place the entire package, then redraw it. So I'm pretty sure I can go by that in the rules, and it maybe not even worth asking the question, but maybe just ask a question, see what we get. Right, I'll be back later. I'll just put this together now, this part, and hopefully come back with the next part, and we'll get this resolved and get this part, this turn finished off. It's starting to get kind of hairy though, isn't it? We're up against it now. Definitely different to the last attempt. Okay, I'll be back later, guys. Cheers.